8, 2, 5'li ganyan. Çat. 1, 4. 8, 2, 5'li ganyan. Çat. 1, 4. Hesaplama uzmanı. Sekiz, 2, 5'li ganyan. Çat. Beşli ganyan. Çat çat. 1, 4. Hesaplama uzmanımdır. 2006'da en büyük parayı aldığımda da hesaplattırdım. Şunu yaz, bunu yaz. Hesap kitap olmadığı için bazen böyle huylarım var. Bunu da anlatayım.
Belli manevra.
Tabii canım bir tane ya.
Yürü be oğlum, getirmezsin sen. Yürü be. Yürü be oğlum.
Hello everyone, welcome to amberNetworkFestival's Today panel program. I'm Doğan from Darağaç Collective, Izmir, Turkey. I'm a filmmaker and photographer. Let me give you a brief introduction about the amberNetworkFestival. A'21 amberNetworkFestival will take place between the 10th of March and 18th of May 2021 at Oyoun in Berlin. And in the network notes, amberPlatform from Istanbul, New Media Society from Tehran, DAF Project from Shiraz, KounAktif from Casablanca, BAAB from Khartoum, Shahraban from Baalbek, Bishkek Contemporary from Bishkek, ADEF from Cairo and Berlin, and Darağaç from Izmir, Turkey. Welcome to another event of Darağaç Collective. Let me briefly introduce Darağaç. Darağaç is a non-profit art collective located in Izmir Umurbey Mahallesi and an open space where new communication strategies are experienced. Umurbey neighborhood, formerly known as Darağaç, is located between Alsancak Stadium and Halkapınar. Used as an industrial zone in the past, today, Darağaç neighborhood hosts artists, artisans, workshops, and residents. Darağaç is also the name of the group of exhibitions that have developed and matured with an atmosphere of intense dialogue and discussions between the artists, artisans, and the residents of the neighborhood. The main goal of Darağaç is to transform the neighborhood into a space where young artists can show their work and to create a common discourse. Darağaç, due to lack of venues in Izmir, acts as a reconciliation zone for the emerging artists and public space. Darağaç has not imposed any subject and material limitations for the artists in the exhibitions it has organized and in the events it has participated in. Darağaç encourages the artists to try new methods in the public sphere. Interdisciplinary works are exhibited or hosted in Darağaç in areas such as painting, photography, sculpture, installation, video, and performance. At the same time, Darağaç is trying to transform into a kind of an experimental city institute. So today we are going to talk about Sounds of Darağaç project. What is Sounds of Darağaç project? Sounds of Darağaç project was brought to life with the collaboration of Darağaç Collective, a neighborhood collective that includes artists who have been producing and living in Alsancak, Umurbey district of Izmir for the last 6 years. Lou Records from Istanbul, Amsterdam-based record company, and Izmir subcultural music collective Apeiron. Sounds of Darağaç is an auditory memory project documenting the sounds that is produced by the dynamic and cosmopolitan lifestyle in a small auto-industrial zone, surrounded by the neighborhood's daily hustle and bustle in its narrow streets. A sound library was created that includes the sounds of the shopkeepers and their shops such as the oil shop, the car painter, the tea shop, the betting dealer, the meatball shop, motorbike shop, as well as the absurd sounds that randomly echo in the neighborhood. So, welcome everyone. We have Lou Records and Apeiron with us today. Hello Betal, hello Ahmet, Kenan, hello Altay, hello Emre.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Who would like to start first? Betal, would you like to introduce yourself?
I can. My name is Betal Özay. I'm the co-founder of Lou Records. Just a little bit brief introduction of Lou Records, then I'm going to say a couple of few words how we interact and meet with the Darağaç collective. Lou Records was established by my partner Ahmet, which you will see him soon, in 2018, and we started to release soundtracks because since we come from a strong visual art background, and then we started releasing albums from different artists, including different genres like Anatolian grunge, Anatolian psychedelic rock, gypsy jazz, and we always open our minds for interdisciplinary projects as well. And like 2 years ago, I was living in Izmir, and our story with Darağaç started with the resistance, actually, because a couple of years ago, with some activists living in Izmir, we started to protest this project of the government, which at the heart of the city, which is very close to Darağaç, is almost like neighbors. There's a beautiful industrial factory which was built in 1926. It was Izmir Electric Factory, which in old days is the only sole power plant which was distributing energy to the whole city. And this is an industrial and a cultural heritage, but the government was tear it down and turned into a kind of a shopping mall or some residential project. So we were strongly against this. We want to keep this, changing into like a kind of a cultural hub or a museum. And so we were forming a resistance. And one day we were making a press release in front of my friend, who was an urban planner, asked me, like, do you know this art collective, which is basically neighbor, like, you know, a couple of blocks away. They're local residents here, and they
Betal, can you hear us? Yeah, I think. I think we have sound now, Betal. Can you? Yeah.
Sure.
Your sound is breaking up.
So that's how we met, and then we start to talk about what we can do, like, you know, cooperatively, like we can come up with. And then last year, like, you know, the January 2020, if I'm not mistaken, we paid a visit to Izmir with my partner Ahmet. And I'd like to introduce Ahmet to the collective and the guys and everybody around there, so we can talk, sit down and talk what we can do. And Ahmet, would you like to talk how the ideas start to form at that point? I think mute, like you need to unmute first.
Yes, now it's okay, I think. Hello, everyone, again. The Betal told me that there's a place and there's an art collective in Izmir, and something touched me, and I said that, okay, if something touched you, we should visit there and we can see what's going on there. And Betal told me maybe we can produce a sound project there. That's why I was there. And actually I live in Istanbul in 15 years, in the really center of the the city, and that we call Beyoğlu and Tophane. And actually, there are lots of the cultural movement on the cities from the outside to the banlieue, the suburbs, and the underground culture. For example, my place is Tophane is really conservative, the place, and there are lots of this sort of trend in 2 years or 3 years ago. There are lots of the art galleries or that sort of art events, but they are coming directly to the streets. There is no connection between the local people and the like in Darağaç. There are lots of repair place and tea place or like that. They don't have any the connection with the local people, and I'm almost against that sort of art movement from the outside to the inside. Because it's the art means the sharing and the connection. If I follow that, that's meaning I don't want to explain and describe what is art in just in 5 minutes, but the art doesn't meaning that sort of movement. And when I was in the Darağaç, I realized that the Darağaç, there are many artists, they moved there and they really connected between the local people. And they told me a little story, and that little story made sense, really huge, make sense for me. Then there was I forgot the name, probably the name is Erdoğan, the car repairman. And after 20, he went to home and he looked at his carpets, and after 20 years, he said that, hey, there is a great texture and the graphic design on my carpet. And it was so the important thing because they started to, the Darağaç collective started to connect with the people, and the people, the local people, they got some feedback to them, and they realized that the open their minds and making events together, and that means the movement from inside to the outside. And I said that with the Betal, what we can do here, and when we are turning back to in the airplane, we said that okay, we got the idea what we can do, and all together we came together. We made the produced and the recording sessions or blah blah, too many technical details, and we said that okay, we are gonna collect all the sounds from the tea spots, from the car repairs, from the streets, from even in the car sound or like that. All sounds we collect, and we are gonna produce the huge pool and online pool, sound pool, and everyone can take the sounds from their pool, and all the producers can make a song. So using that sort of samples, we are gonna release to the albums, and we are gonna produce the songs. And we said that okay, the first step, we collect all the sounds, and from that point, maybe Emre will continue how is going to the process to that sort of collecting sounds and making the production.
Thank you, Ahmet. I was involved in the process of recording and editing the sounds. We recorded in Darağaç Mahallesi. I'm also a member of Apeiron Collective and Artesian Sounds, which Alex, my friend, we run with. Also, he participated in this project with contributing a track to the EP. How I met Darağaç was it's like I had some friends who are fine arts faculty graduates. A couple of years ago, they settled in this in the middle of this neighborhood called Darağaç, in between ever-growing Alsancak and Halkapınar region, which are now there are lots of skyscrapers built in the building right beside them, and I think this will change the texture of the neighborhood in oncoming years, but the people who live there, the locals, the actually artisans, in their workshops, they are really good at their job. They take really pride in their work, and recording them was really a beautiful process because they were also so happy with the interests of the other neighbors living in this region. Yeah, they were also happy to include us. They were happy to be included in this project. Well, yes, that's about it. That's how we did it. It was a process to make this library a functioning library in about like a month's time. And we have these beautiful sounds to share with the musicians, the producers all around the world. Maybe we started with locals. The poet and Cairo joined us from Istanbul, and Alex also from Istanbul. He joined us. Well, yeah. I hope this want to be an ongoing project with other versions and ever-growing sound library. Thanks. Also, maybe Altay, my friend from Apeiron Collective, who also involved in this project, they want to continue. Thank you.
In this project, we want to make an experience about the sounds of this area of Izmir, which is located like between skyscrapers and the major artery of the transportation of the city, and we just want to make a library, as Ahmet and Emre said, as a soundscape, how this area of the town sounds like. I think that's the main motive of the project, I think.
Yeah, for us, this is an interesting point also, because in the previous year in Darağaç Collective we had many exhibitions, but we were able to document the street and the neighborhood visually, but creating this atmosphere, creating a sound library of a whole neighborhood, this was something that we never thought about it even. So this actually combines many different projects and relationships. So I remember when we were working on the neighborhood with Emre Can, the reactions of the shop owners, for example, they were, because they knew what happened in the previous years, what happened in the neighborhood too. So when we went there with our microphones and small equipments, they were eager to help. They were most of the time the sound that we got was good enough, but they were eager to give more. So this would mean sometimes it would mean making more sounds and creating this whole mess actually, that because they were eager to help, and they were curious about the outcome of this, because we were trying to explain them. We were saying that we are recording all these sounds, and maybe these sounds will going to be used in a song. So maybe we will make an album, because the timeline of the project back then was not that clear. We had intentions. We knew we had some ideas about how we are going to publish this work actually. So I want to ask about your question, your ideas, and how do you see, because Sounds of Darağaç project, we have 4 songs from the album, and we created this cassette actually with a design. It's a good old-fashioned cassette. I'm curious about your opinions. Why we decided to move on to the option of a cassette, not a CD, or not only digitally? Why we chose the cassette? And I would love to hear your opinions as well about it.
Just I can start and then
Sure.
give it to
Yeah.
Ahmet. Because like at the end, by including the Singaporean collective and 2 rap artists, we almost have the theme of the whole album, which is almost like a underground movement, which fits perfectly with the what Darağaç represents. And then in old days, as we know, like, you know, in the music business, like you know, in the music world, usually like the merchandise, like cassettes, vinyls, and CDs were the most popular medium, but now it's streams. But of course, I'll give you one statistic, like if you want to survive, like, you know, by depending on a stream revenue, you just by like a kind of a standard income, you have to have your song needs to be listened almost like 1 million. So and we try to, like, you know, take this fact into account and sort of criticize the streaming movement. Like, you know, there are a lot of streaming platforms, but the musicians, in fact, like, you know, they cannot really survive based on these streaming platforms, which couple of artists takes, is almost in what they say in US, like, you know, the winner takes it all. Like, they take the most of the revenue, but very few left and distributing among a lot of different artists. So in this project, like why we produce cassette and we didn't put any of the songs into any streaming platform, we want to take this almost like a political stance against streaming. And we want to point out that, like, you know, this kind of a new way of exploiting the creative material is not, it could be good for the consumers, could be more accessible, of course, but for the creators and for the musicians, it's not fair. So we want to produce cassette for a reminiscence of time when things look like much fairer. And we work with cassette producers in Berlin, actually. Like there are not too many producers, like, you know, only 2 factories in Europe, like, you know, where they produce cassette, but it's gaining popularity as vinyl exceeds the sale number of I think CDs, like, you know. So I think it's coming back as well as a medium, and that was one of the pillar of one of the point that we take into account. So Ahmet, would you like to add a few words about that?
I would like to add some emotional things, because as an artist, as an releasing an album, I'm releasing also album, but there is the feeling that every Friday there are many artists and many songs in 60,000 songs and uploading in every day just on the digital platforms. This is huge, and there are some fighting to visibility and that sort of streaming. And as an artist, as a listener, I really miss to keep in touch directly to musicians, the audience to the musicians and artists. And that's emotional part, but it's really important things, because we construct all the things on the emotions. That's why.
For me, it was the cassette, the format of cassette, seeing this as think this as a subject, as an object, actually. It has this sentimental value, as you said, Ahmet. I mean, most of the people who buy this cassette, they are not going to put in their tapes and listen it. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure most of people doesn't have the cassette players. But the thing is, having this as an object it's for the memory, actually. It's good memory, actually. But we designed the cassette booklet, and we put a QR code there. So if you would like to listen the song, you can use the QR code to listen it digitally. But having this as an object, it was something interesting for me to have this feeling, actually, because you're having it as a it's almost like a sculpture in a way. So it was an interesting choice, and I believe that the sentimental value of it is very important. Yesterday, by the way, we had the launch event of the cassette. If you would like to watch, we had a live streaming. You can watch from amberPlatform's YouTube channel and Oyoun's Vimeo channel if you would like to have the simulation of being there feeling. So, and we have a music video, guys. Would you like to? Do you want me to play the music video? We made this music video, and you will have many different views from the neighborhood. Let me make the settings. Yes.
Gölgeler uzar, duvarlar parlar. Eski zaman mayhoşlukları, kalfalar, ustalar, çıraklar. Bakkalda 37 ekran, poster duvarda büyük Altay. Yok olurken sürekli hafızan, çalınırken tüm hatıralar. Buldum kendimi kaybolarak, pencerelerden perdeler. Süzülürken bir anda ben buldum kaybettiğim her şeyi. Durdurdum zamanı sanki, gizli bir liman gibiydi belki. Mahallenin derinlikleri, çay ocakları, atölyeler. Kırmızı kiremitler, kediler, tamirhane önlerinde bekler. Renkler burada başka renkler.
Yeah, I think
We can say that sort of teaser.
yeah, like it's like
Rest
like
is on YouTube. Rest is on YouTube. By the way, I would like to add little announcement. And yes, right now we have a pool, and a huge pool. I think is 2 gigabytes or like that. And all the sounds from the Darağaç on the streets. This is the first step of the project. And then we are gonna use that samples, and we are gonna work with another musicians and another producers. And the announcement is, if someone would like to use that samples and make a song, please contact us with Darağaç, Emre, or Cem. I'm okay to close the announcement.
I just had a small connection problem, so I don't know if the video was okay.
We also just Ahmet made an announcement about, like, we have the sound library, and if somebody wants to use it and produce something out of it, like, it's free, it's out there, and maybe this could take us to the next chapter in the conversation about the future, like what we want to do, like, in the next. And maybe you can also, like, you were talking about the event last night, like, and how was it? What was the experience like? How did people in the neighborhood, how they embrace it, or how they accept that? Would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, we had our as a collective, we had our last exhibition in September, last year September. So it was the COVID times. There was curfew. There were limitations. You were not able to move even. But we decided to have an event. But of course, we were not sure about it because we were expecting less people also. But this year, it's because the restrictions are not totally. I mean, the restrictions are still there. But yesterday event was started at 6. So in Turkey, we have a curfew after 9. So we thought that let's make this at 6 so that less people will come to the neighborhood, and it will be, less dangerous for the rest of the neighborhood, for the locals too. But it didn't happen like that. What happened was people started coming around 5:30, and more people started to come. So around 8, the neighborhood was full of people. I mean, especially these 2 main streets that we use for the exhibition. So what we saw, other than the feedbacks that we gathered, but this yesterday's event showed us something different. It was a different feeling. The different feeling was this: it's because of all these restrictions. Of course, we saw that people are having the urge of socializing, being able to touch someone, or I don't know, having a drink together, this kind of things. And maybe we should have been more careful, but seeing that people are having this communication in the neighborhood, in an open field, in an open area, it was something nice for us, other than the exhibition itself. So for the Sounds of Darağaç exhibitions, yesterday's exhibition, we have this cassettes. So the idea was, the question was actually how we can exhibit these cassettes. So we had to find a solution. I mean, putting them on a table wouldn't be nice. It should be. We needed something more, because this album, this whole concept, this whole idea behind it, it's something more than that. There are some subtle meanings too. So we decided to move on the idea with this idea. The idea was this. We said with our friends, let's go to the car mechanics, the shops in the neighborhood, couple of shops, and let's ask them what they can give to us. Like, I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was having this big block engine, you know, having this whole engine, hanging it to our headquarters with some chains, and putting the cassette there. So, but this is practically not possible because it's something really heavy. We were not able to do this, of course. So instead, we gathered some pieces of car engine pieces from 3 different stores, and we had these small pipes that we had no idea what is for, but it came with the package, with the stuff that we gathered from the shop. So we made this kind of a sculpture that consists of car parts and some pipes, some things that we had no idea what is it for. So we made this sculpture-like object, and we put the cassettes in certain parts of the installation, and it turned into something else, because thinking that this sound is the neighborhood sound, right? And the music that is coming from this sound is actually coming from the car parts in a way. The feeling of hearing the sound that it's coming from an engine. So we wanted to create this feeling for the exhibition, and we had really nice feedbacks, and people were interested to see more for the project. And we had 2 indoor places. The first one was the headquarters. By the way, we will publish the photos from the exhibition in the following days from our social media accounts. So we had 2 closed areas. Both of them were for listening, actually, and we had a music video that you just watched, and the music were playing up behind it with a motion. So people were hanging out on the streets, socializing, meeting with new people, and this was something that we all missed. And this event showed this feeling. This event reminded us this feeling. I hope we will be okay. I hope we're not going to have the virus or something like that, but we are happy. We know that now. I wish Ahmet, Kenan, and Betal, I wish you were here too.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
the Darağaç is the first place I never been drink before a guy, and I think it's after 1.5 hour, and I said that, what's your job? What you are doing here? He said that I'm a police. And that was my first time to drinking together 1.5 hour with the police. And he said that I have a horse and I need to go back home and then make up early. And I said that, okay, cheers and bye-bye. That was good experience. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
They are full of surprises. Next time we'll have more stuff.
Yeah. I'm expecting a kind of a one night event as well in the summertime, when the curfew is gone and everybody is just sort of could socialize without having an end, 9 p.m. or something. I guess it's one of the other important thing about the future of this project, I guess we can talk a bit, is what we want to put on top, how we want to progress this. And I think there's a next step, we were thinking along with the group, how we can take this project and go into one step further, which is could be another album releasing, but what kind of different collaborations we can make, and maybe this sound mapping a neighborhood, and also having the interaction with other neighborhoods, could be neighborhoods where it hosts a lot of immigrants in Berlin, Amsterdam, different places in Europe. That could be a really interesting thing for us as the future, where 2 sound libraries will be interacting And also, like, I like to add that point, like, the sound library is the story of the people who live in the neighborhood. Each sound sample that you see, it also represents a certain person or a personality, like, where he or she has its own unique story. So it's basically blending different stories through sounds and music. And it will be really nice to form a partnership or a collaboration with some other art collectives where they reside in different cities around Europe, and where they willing to generate their sound library, like if they did so in the past, but maybe, like, could be a reason, and then work as an artist, come together, like, produce something together, and maybe, like, make a kind of a live performance out of that, which eventually, if COVID wasn't there, that was one of the first idea. Guys, would you like to add some point about the future and how we can take this project and going to one leap forward?
Yeah, the collaborations with other collectives, actually, I think this is something really important, because now we have the sound library of this neighborhood. When you close your eyes, maybe if you shuffle through the library, when you close your eyes, you will be able to see the environment, even the neighborhood. It will give you a sort of sense of being there. So what I imagine, what I came to my mind when you said this, Betal, I thought about another neighborhood that I have never been in. This could be in Berlin, or this could be, I don't know, anywhere in the world. So, and being able to listen the sounds of this neighborhood, and maybe, I don't know, mixing these two neighborhoods sound libraries into each other somehow, and have it some sort of a fusion-like thing, like both libraries, a couple of sound libraries are mixing to each other and becoming a bigger library. And what will be the music that could come out of this library? I mean, this will be something that I would like to know, actually, because it gives you, it opens many doors. It gives you sense of feeling that being there also, but you are able to hear some other sounds from other neighborhoods too. So this could be something interesting as well. So maybe introducing this project to other collectives will be the first step for us, in a way.
Yeah. So if anybody
this is
from
one
any collective like watching this, like, and also live performance perspective, like, Ahmet, I know it's difficult to put into words, but could you give a little, maybe a summary, like, what could a live performance look like based on this project? Like, what how you envision?
We have time? Do we have time? Okay. And actually, I didn't tell how the beginning of the projects, because it was sort of confused and the long story, but I'm gonna try to keep the short story. And maybe we are gonna do it in the next step. We don't know yet, but the idea is the Darağaç maybe in the just 500 meters square or like that sort of area, and we are gonna put the microphones in the tea place, in the car repair place, and the food place, or like that. For example, if you describe the tea place as a stage and the car repair place is a stage, and if we call that, all of them are stage, and we are gonna put the microphones, and we are gonna create some points, the sound points. For example, in the car repair and place, there are lots of little car repair tools. For example, the crashing two tools and making a sound, just no using any instruments, just using the sounds of the place, not sounds of the Darağaç, the sounds of the car repair place or the tea place. And the musicians will come from another cities or from the Izmir, I don't know. They will come and they will play the place with some the local tools. And this is the first step. The second step is every musicians are playing in the different stage, and they will hear they will hear each other with the data connection. This is a technical stuff detail, but everyone will hear each other, and everyone at the same time with the synchronization, they can play the music together. Maybe in 100 meters away, the drummer plays there, and the 200 meters from the left side, the bass players are playing different things, but everyone can listen each other. So there will be a music of Darağaç, and the audience will come to the first drummer's place, and then they will go to the percussion plays or guitar player or like that. They are gonna travel the different places and different soundscapes, and the audience can hear the layers of the music, the live music. The musicians cannot see each other, but the audience can see all the layers of music, and the audience will be able to travel between all layers of music. That was the idea, and I think we are gonna do it in after Corona times. Maybe with the limited audience we can do in the Corona times. I hope I was successful about telling the story.
Yeah, also the shop owners, for example, can become the part of the process too. So
yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure they will be interested in that. Emrecan and Aslı, we have this idea of having concerts in the terraces of the neighborhood. I mean, I don't know. This was something that we talked among each other. I know, but when Ahmet told us this idea, this story,
maybe Ahmet's idea, it's really similar our idea about playing in the terraces. So yeah. maybe the in the terraces the musicians can be located and playing their instruments and seeing each other. But I know that's a different idea, but the visual impact of this kind of thing may be more interesting. I don't know, it just came to my mind.
Yeah. This is something that we can do as well, and I think it will be interesting to having the concerts in the terraces. So yeah,
because
I hope
the view of the terraces is really interesting. You can see the modern part of the Izmir and the Darağaç, and also the sea, and the view is like the mix of the city. I think it has an important impact of the audience or the spectators.
So guys, we are coming to an end to our conversation, actually. So we will have, as Darağaç, we will have another event in the 12th of April. This will be a performance event, a mural painting event. This will be a 4-day event, and we will have live streams from the neighborhood. This live streams will look like yesterday's live streamings. The idea of being able to simulate the feeling of being there, I mean, in the neighborhood. So if you don't have anything important to do in the 12th of April, we would like you to have you in the neighborhood. So guys, thank you for today. It was really nice. And
thank you, everyone.
And tune in for the new videos, by the way. In the following months, hopefully following months only, we will have new music videos, and we will publish them from the records from Apeiron and from Darağaç social media accounts. So thank you again, and see you soon, guys.
Before losing you, can I ask a question?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, the first thing, how can we access to this cassette?
Cassette, yeah, that's a great question, Ahmet. Thank you. So, guys, Betal, I would just like to.
Sure. We will. I mean, just it's also like before this event, we were making a preparation, and I was offering the guys like maybe we can create this NFL non-refundable tokens, like which people could use some blockchain, some other platforms that could access to a cassette. And also, like one footnote that I should be giving, that the revenue of this cassette, at least the 50%, will be going to the supporting the new association that the Art Collective formed. So it's almost like a raising an awareness, but it's a kind of a campaign for raising some funding for the future projects as well. And accessibility to the projects, like we will be hopefully, I don't know, using our domain website and get some electronic commerce infrastructure, and then put it out there. And but if you somehow want to come to the mahalle, like the neighborhood Darağaç, people here like will have some stocks, like and in every event they will put out there, and that would be the best way of buying it, actually, like interacting, sitting down, talking around it, and then at the end as a memory, like you can get it. But if you cannot do that very soon, just you can check Darağaç's website or Lu Records websites, and within a couple of weeks we will be able to put the cassette there, and then you can be buying.
And this is the one part of the project, the question, the mystery, how we can get the cassettes.
Okay, thank you. And the following question, because
Welcome.
it is a very exciting project, and your explanations made it even more exciting, because it turned out to become a kind of more open event, on the a kind of network event with your future maybe plans. And I thought that you talked about mapping and sound libraries. Also, those the question, if these sound libraries are accessible and shareable or open, or is it gonna be open somehow at some point? Because then you could merge a sound from a shop from Darağaç with another shop from Berlin, and then you can make a world kind of music. Not only the sound of Darağaç, but so, as you Betal said, it's like you're going to a bigger direction.
Exactly, like the sound library, is it accessible, or where Ali Cem, like could you just answer for that, like, and then maybe how can, if anybody wants to see the library, how they can get an access to it? And it's free, it's open,
Yeah.
I know, but we didn't put out there yet, I guess, like
Now we are thinking about how we can make this sound library to public, actually open to public. We only have it in Google Drive so far, so we are talking with our friends, our designer friends that who are working on our website. Maybe we can have a website, a website design that we can share this sound library also. And we can also, it should be a library that we should contribute more sounds as well. I mean, it's not a static library. We should be able to add more sounds and maybe some different stuff too. So sharing them, opening them on public, I don't know when, but this is something that we will work on soon.
Just adding into that, like, and maybe we were discussing if the sound library somehow goes together with the human library. So when you open the sound library, where you can just see what kind of sound samples are there, but also you can be able to see what is the source of that sound, like if that's a kind of a guy who has a tea brewing house, what's the name of this guy, what's his story. So when you're using that sound in your own music or in your own creation, then you will see what kind of story behind and what kind of people are involved in what kind of production and what they're doing in their own daily life. And I think this will be a really powerful story, and it will be really good opportunity to interact with other people and other creators all around the world, which I totally agree that the direction should be going in that direction. And I hope this project will serve in that purpose.
And at the same time, I would like to add a little thing that we plan all the things. Okay, we are gonna record, we are gonna release the album, we visit the Darağaç or like that. We have lots of steps, but now the project is alive. The Sounds of Darağaç has a personality, and right now we didn't talk each other like that before, but I believe that the project started to manage us. The project says something to us. For example, yesterday the Darağaç people has some the experience with the local people, how they feedback, and from their feedback we have new ideas, and we are gonna come together and talk, and we are gonna improve the project. Actually, there is no certain plan in the beginning and ending of the project, and we have a new friend, the Sound of Darağaç, and he joined us, and we are traveling with him, her, hers, blah blah.
Yeah, but I would like to add to Betal's words. So this is because this is a really important detail, and this is about how we worked in the field with Emrecan. When we went to the stores to record the sound, most of the time, actually all the time, we were able to capture the moment of where this sound is coming from. So yes, we say the Sounds of Darağaç project is a soundscape project, it's an auditory memory project, but there is also another aspect, that it's also visual aspect. So as Betal said, when you hear a sound, you will be able to have the visual equivalent of this sound. So this is another path to move on, actually, because it gives you so many opportunities too, having the visual of that moment. And this was something that I didn't think about, actually. This was sort of improvising. I mean, for me, I was capturing the moments, but I had a microphone on top of my camera, so I was able to record the sound as well. And when we checked the images and the sound, we saw that we have the visual equivalent of that moment. So this was something totally random, and it worked. I hope it will work, and maybe we can expand the library in the visual part of the library too. This is something to think about too.
These open-ended projects are wonderful. Thank you for this beautiful project. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. So see you in the next event. Thank you for having this conversation. I hope we will have the physical version of this conversation too soon. So thank you for audience for listening us. This broadcasting will be published in Vimeo and the YouTube pages. Take care. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.